The Bills won, and I was there to see it, and it was stressful and exhausting. I'm so tired. You know, it's fun going to the game. It was fun going with my dad. We had to buy a ticket for him separately. So he was sitting down in the 4th row. So he got some great pictures of some old Bills who showed up. Bruce Smith came out and everybody started yelling, Bruce. And then I think people got distracted by him and didn't notice that Daryl Talley came out right behind him. Then my friend Chris said, I think that's Thurman Thomas, because I had already shown him a picture that I'd seen on Twitter of Thurman Thomas wearing a James Cook jersey. And suddenly there's a guy whose back is to us, but is sort of shaped like Thurman Thomas wearing a James Cook jersey. And then Jim Kelly came out. Like, it was the whole shebang, and my dad got pictures of all of them. So that was pretty cool. We won on a play that is clearly going to sort of monopolize most of the discussion, which is the 61-yard field goal by Tyler Bass, which came after he missed a point after touchdown and doinked a point after touchdown. So we were a little stressed in the stands. We weren't really sure how that was going to go. And then he made it, and it was incredible. And the crowd exploded in exactly the opposite way of when he went wide right in the playoffs against the Chiefs last year, when the whole crowd just sort of deflated like a whoopee cushion. This was a big explosion, and it was super cool. We were outplayed in that game. Our defense was getting torn apart on the run, just absolutely destroyed. Tua had something like 24 out of 27 for his pass receptions. Like, we kind of did not deserve to win that game. Josh, compared to Tua, was playing like crap. I went back and I watched the video of the game after actually going to the game, because when we were at the game, we were like, why does Josh keep throwing the ball into the dirt?
Josh is throwing like shit, really low in the dirt over and over again. So we got some things to work on at the half.
And I was curious whether that was actually accurate, and that's actually what happened. Josh threw six low passes yesterday. Uncatchable or barely catchable low passes. It was very weird. So I don't know what his deal was. All we had going for us on that one drive where we got a field goal was him running. We got a touchdown run called back on a hold that didn't look like a hold to me afterwards. There were actually 2 holding calls on that drive, one right after the other. So we ended up having to kick a field goal because we'd gotten to like 3rd and 30 or something crazy like that. The first half of the game, we looked like shit from a butt. Like, we did not look good. Khalil Shakir had a good game. Lots of yards after catch. Crazy body control. I love that kid so much. There was a great punt return by Brandon Codrington that the ball bounced, and I was like, don't field that ball. Don't field that ball. And he fielded the ball and ran for another 25 yards or some shit. So I'm wrong. Don't ever listen to me. Ray Davis was sort of our ray of light. I didn't even mean that. Ray of light. That's not as good as the Boys to Men songs. Don't listen to that. I might not even leave it in. Anyway, he had a 63-yard touchdown run. That was amazing. He had a couple great 7-8 yard runs. He had, I think, another catch for a first down. Like, he was on. We should have had him in. I turned to my friend Chris and I said, every time Ray Davis is not on the field, we should be looking at each other and saying, where's Ray Davis?
Where's Poochie?
Like, he was the star. Mac Hollins played surprisingly well. Not only did he get a touchdown, he also drew a whole bunch of pass interference calls, it seemed like, that moved us down the field in ways that felt a little bit cheap. We could not stop the run. It was pretty pathetic. And we weren't getting any pressure on Tua either. Vaughn was back. Only thing I saw Vaughn do was jump way off sides in a very noticeable neutral zone infraction. Yeah, we weren't getting to Tua. We need to do something, and I don't know what, but I don't know what. Our run defense has not been great, except for in a couple games this year. It's very inconsistent. Our interior defensive line is not great, and we're clearly not calling plays that are effective to get to the quarterback. in most games. We had one game where we were blitzing too and it went really well. I think it was a Seahawks game we blitzed more. Let's do that. We're shockingly good at it when we actually do it. Can we try? Tua gets the ball out fast. I understand there's that. But yeah, we got to do something to stop that. If teams see that we're not bringing pressure to the quarterback, that's something they're going to study and that's something they're going to be prepared for. And I feel like this game gave other teams a lot of material to work with to see how they can scheme around our defense. We had Kaiir Elam in for Christian Benford, which is always a little terrifying when you're playing a game against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Elam did okay, not great. Tyreek got some decent catches, although that wasn't all Elam. Douglas was on him too, but there was one long pass that Tyreek caught that Elam actually came really close to getting away from him. That kid shows promise. I don't want to give up on Kaiir Elam. I like Kaiir Elam.
Scariest thing in the world is dying without living. Scariest thing in the world is dying without living. Dying without living. Dying without living.
We had Eli Anku in doing some reps on the line too, basically filling the role that Dwayne Carter had been playing as sort of a rotational tackle until he got injured. So we got Anku in doing that. He did surprisingly well. I think he's the only one who got to Tua at any point. Tyreek also ran down the back of the field where I was sitting and gave us all the finger after, I believe, the Achane touchdown. That seemed a little unsportsmanlike to me, Tyreek. Leave me out of it. We're just going to yell at you. You have to take it. That's how this works. That's the rules. Fuck you. The crowd was definitely pretty subdued for a lot of the game. It's hard to get your energy up to yell for your defense when your defense is just falling down on the job with the run every play after play after play after play. It was frustrating, but by the end, we were into it. We were really into that kick. And my favorite play of the game was Taron Johnson's fumble punch out. That was pretty beautiful when you look at the replay. And that changed the whole energy of the game. That being the first drive of the second half totally changed everything for us. Totally changed the momentum. I don't care what people say on the internet that momentum's not a real thing. Call it vibes if you want to say there's no math behind it. Of course there's no math behind it. It's vibes. The vibes changed in our favor and we were able to pull shit together in the second half. And it was enough. We made it happen. Next week we are playing the Colts and I will not be able to see that game because I will be out in the mountains not watching football games for a little while. I think we can take the Colts. I really hope I don't come back. Last year when I was out in the mountains for a game, it was the Broncos game that we lost with 12 men on the field. So hopefully we don't have another game where we lose to an opponent we clearly should be able to beat while I'm out. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe I can't go to the mountains anymore. Well, I really hope not. But I will be back for Bills versus Chiefs. So I'll see you then. Go Bills.
In the words of the great quarterback, go Bills.